Hello and welcome to Motion Picture Recaps. Today, I'll take you through a 1984 mystery, drama and adventure film called Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. In 1935, at the Club Obi-Wan in Shanghai, Indiana Jones and his partner Wuhan encounter crime boss Lao Che, who is seeking the remains of Narachi, an ancient emperor from the Ming dynasty. When the deal goes down, Che tries to poison Indy, but chaos ensues, leading to a running gun battle and pursuit by Lao Che and his henchmen, a chase that sweeps up local torch singer Wilhelmina Willie Scott. The getaway car is driven by Indiana's ward and sidekick, Short Round, a 10-year-old Chinese boy with a cocky personality. At the nearby Nongtao airport, Indiana escapes from Shanghai aboard a cargo plane, though he fails to see that the plane belongs to Lao Che himself. On their way to India, their plane crashes in the mountains when the pilot and co-pilot bail out after dumping the plane's fuel. After a dangerous ride down the Himalayan mountains and a raging river in an inflatable life raft, the trio eventually comes to a desolate village in India. The poor villagers enlist their help in retrieving a sacred Shiva Lingam stone from the evil forces of nearby Pankat Palace. When the stone was stolen, the village's crops burned, and the people began to starve. The forces of Pankat Palace also kidnapped all of the children in the village. At night, Indy finds a small boy, one of the missing children, who has wandered back to the village. In his hand is a piece of cloth written in Sanskrit. The writing gives Indy a new clue about the missing Sankara stones. Indy hypothesizes that the stone may be one of the fabled Adi Shankara stones. The village's elder believes Shiva sent Indiana to retrieve the object. At Pankat Palace, the travelers are met by the Maharaja's major domo, Chatur Lal, and also meet the local British regiment leader, Captain Blumbert. At a dinner of gruesome cuisine with the Maharaja himself, Indy questions Lal about the villagers' claims. Lal at first dismisses them, calling them superstitions. Indy also brings up the history of the area, stating that it was once the center for a fanatical religious cult, the Thuggee, who worshipped the Hindu god Kali. Lal becomes angrier when Indy claims that the sacred stone was stolen from the village and points out several instances of Indy's own lack of discretion and moral judgment while seeking other treasures from different parts of the world. The Maharaja weighs in, saying he's ashamed of the Thuggees' history in his region. Indy apologizes for his indiscretion. Later that night, Indy is attacked in his room by a would-be assassin, which leads him, Willie, and Short Round to discover an underground temple beneath Pankat. They find a Thuggee group practicing an ancient ritual of black magic and human sacrifice to Kali. Though they possess 3 of the ancient stones, one of which belongs to the village, they are still missing 2, and the Thuggee have enslaved the village children to dig for 2 last stones within the mines of the palace. Mullah Ram, the cult's villainous high priest, hopes to use the power of 5 united stones to rule the world. The protagonists witness a ritual in which Mullah Ram bare-handedly digs a man's heart out of his chest. The man survives, his heart beating in Mullah Ram's hand until he is lowered slowly into a lava pit, causing the beating heart to burst into flames. Indy leaves Willie and Shorty behind to retrieve the Sankara stones. As he collects them, he hears a child's cry coming from behind the chamber's statue of Kali. While Willie wonders why Indy is walking off, a Thuggee guard surprises them. Then, she and Shorty are captured. Indy finds a large excavation site behind the sacrificial chamber, where kids are being forced to work. They're being beaten and whipped. Enraged, Indy throws a rock at one of the guards and is captured. In a small holding cell, a young boy from the village tells Indy that some of the kids are forced to drink the blood of Kali, a potion that makes them unquestioningly obedient to Mullah Ram. Indy is forced to drink the blood of Kali and stands at Mullah Ram's side when Willie is offered as a human sacrifice. Short Round is put in the mines alongside the village children as a slave laborer. Short Round frees himself and escapes back into the temple, where Willie is about to be sacrificed to Kali. Desperate to help his friend, he burns Indy with a torch, shocking him out of the trance. Together, Shorty and Indy take out Mola Ram's guards and free Willie. Indy makes a silent apology to Shorty. Willie suggests they escape. Indy says, "Right. All of us," and the three go to the mine to free Ram's child slaves. In the fight to escape the palace, the three jump into a minecart and are closely pursued by two thuggy-filled carts through the tunnels. They manage to throw off their pursuers. Back in the mine, Mola Ram has his men topple a large water tower, spilling its contents into the tunnel. Indy and his group barely manage to escape the rush of water, emerging on the stone wall of a canyon. Indy, Willie, and Short Round try to cross a rope bridge across the canyon, but are hemmed in by Mola Ram and the thuggy on both ends. Indy tells his friends to brace themselves and uses a machete to cut the bridge in half. Many of the thuggies are sent plummeting into the crocodile-infested river, where they are eaten, but Mola Ram holds on. In a final battle for the stones, the evil priest declares that they belong to him. Unafraid, Indiana invokes the name of Shiva, yelling that Ram had betrayed the Hindu god. In Indy's satchel, the stones begin to glow and burn a hole through the bag. Two of them fell into the river. The final stone burns Mola Ram's hand as he grabs it. Indiana catches it and watches as Ram falls and is eaten by crocodiles in the river below. Jones climbs up the bridge as Blumbird and his Indian riflemen help defeat the thuggy reinforcements. Indiana, Willie, and Short Round return to the village with their sacred stone and the missing children. Indiana tells the village elder he understands its power now. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you can watch more video like this.